everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Jadine Love. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate your fingers, I appreciate your eyes, I appreciate everything right now because your everything is making me everything. If you really like this look, please continue watching. Also, this video is about, you just have to continue watching in order to find out what it's about. Thank you so much for sticking by. So this video is about 12-year-old friends planning for 6 months to kill their best friend in the name of a fictional character. Now, I know you've never heard of this, and I didn't hear about this until I heard about this, but it is very interesting, and it's quite weird to say because you wouldn't think that 12-year-old friends, best friends to that, would actually come up with such diabolical plans to do this. And I will have to put out a disclaimer out there to let people know, and kids out there, that this is not something smart to do. Do not do something like this. This is not anything to be to take interest in. However, this is a documentary. This is something that happened, and let's hear. So I would love for you to sit down, watch me apply my makeup while I talk about this very interesting crime case. So starting today till the 31st of October, which is Halloween, I will be posting videos every Thursday talking about, true crime and anything in relation to that, documentaries, docu-stories, anything in relation to that genre. And I hope you guys enjoy. So yeah, let's get started. So we have 3 best friends, aged 12, from Waukesha, Wisconsin, USA. Morgan Geiser, Anissa Weiner, and Peyton Lutner. Okay, so they were attending Morgan's birthday sleepover celebration on May 30, 2014. And this is where they decided to spend their evening before going home and attending the sleepover, the actual sleepover. So when I was younger, I had attended numerous sleepovers. We had crazy fun, sleepless nights. I mean, we wouldn't sleep, and we'd have food and a lot of sweeties. We lived for sweets, okay? And I remember one time I was over my friend's house, and I was not aware of this situation, but they were aware that my birthday was coming up. I knew that my birthday was coming up, but I didn't know that, they would really be so generous to do such lovely things. So they surprised me on my birthday, July 2, and they, gave me cake and food, and we danced and we had a load of fun. So sleepovers are normally very harmless, personal events. We talk about boys all night, we play games, we go outside, we have fun. And I'm pretty sure that you've attended a sleepover before, whether it's your family or your friend's house. Okay, so back to the story. So we have 3 girls, okay? And they were home doing what they, do best as kids. They play dress up, whatever they were doing, okay? But little did Peyton know that her best friend or best friends had schemed a wicked plan to kill her that night. So what is so sad about the entire story is that Peyton was the reason why these 2 females, or all of them, became friends. Morgan was a loner, and no one really liked her, okay? And Anissa was new to the school, so she slowly gravitated towards them, or however it goes. And they knew each other for 4th grade, so they developed a great bond, and everything was Gucci. As kids, you're not thinking about crazy things like that. You're mostly thinking about boys and just playing overall. So why would they plan to kill Peyton in the first place? So it all started with a modern urban myth called Slenderman. Now, Slenderman was created by Eric Knudsen for an internet competition in 2009. Eric is just a regular man who had some free time on his hands, and decided to compete in a competition that required them to use Photoshop to create paranormal characters. All right, so Slenderman is an extremely tall, long-legged, faceless, skinny white man who always wore a black suit. He always has, he has long fingers and long hands, and attached to his back are tendrils that are used to stifle and kill children. Now, Slenderman is a regular duppy story. It's a fictional character. He's not real, but just like the boogeyman, people think that they're real. When you're kids, you kind of think these things are real, and you don't want to be near them. You don't want to associate with them unless you're telling a duppy story. But in this case, it was taken out of hand. And Slenderman is also known to lurk in the background, making kids mentally sick, kidnapping them, and killing them. So according to this mythical story, in order to prove yourself worthy to Slenderman, you have to kill a child or kill children so that you can reside with him in his mansion in the Nicolay Forest. Okay? So basically, by sacrificing a child, you will automatically be spared. Okay? So they believed this fictional character so much that they wanted to be proxies for him. And you know what a proxy is? Someone who is authorized to act on behalf of somebody. Okay? So it's like, you tell us what to do and we will do it. So the big day came, and on May 30, Morgan and Anissa had planned for execution. The ladies were not stupid whatsoever. I mean, they kind of are. They are, but they understood that in order for a mission to be accomplished, or in order for their mission to be accomplished, there may be hiccups along the way, and so they devised 3 methods to kill Peyton if the others didn't work. So plan A would be to kill Peyton while she was sleeping, because they read that when someone is sleeping and they're unconscious, it is easier to kill the person, especially when their eyes are closed and you don't have to have any form of eye contact with the individual, right? Right. So it makes it less personal. However, this plan didn't work out because they explained that they were extremely tired, right? Because they had participated at the skating ring and they were very tired and they couldn't find the strength to get up in the middle of the night to kill Peyton, and they were going to suffocate her. So the next morning came and they acted as if everything was cool, which was May 31st. Okay, so what they did was Morgan decided to ask her mom if they could go to the community park. And when they arrived, plan B was thought about. So plan B was to kill Peyton in the bathroom of the community park. She carried a 5-inch bladed knife out of the kitchen, okay, so that she could stab Peyton with, or they could stab Peyton with. However, they were very hesitant and uncertain about who would kill her. So the plan automatically failed. Just like, a situation where you're very hesitant and you're handing the person the knife and the other person's handing you back the knife, like who should kill who kind of situation. So they hesitated. But this did not stop them. They were so determined that they came up with another plan, which was to go for a walk in the woods. Okay? They tricked Peyton that they wanted to go bird watching and then play hide and seek. Okay, so they were very much convinced and eager to have this done. They were so determined. So when they arrived in the woods, Anissa told Peyton to lay down in the ground and cover herself with leaves and sticks. Then Morgan sat on top of Peyton, thinking that this was a great way to stab her. Now Peyton realized what was going on, and because she had trusted them by laying down and going into the forest, she thought that everything was okay up until Morgan sat on her. So immediately when Morgan sat on her chest, she started saying, she cannot breathe. She can't breathe. I can't breathe. Right? But then Morgan and Anissa made eye contact, and they knew at that very moment that it was time for them to commit their crime. Now, Anissa gave Morgan the command, and she said, "It's time." Or she said, "Go, kitty." And she also said, "Go ballistic, go crazy," as in with the stabbing. So she started stabbing Peyton, and Peyton got 19 stabs, right, all over her body. And while she was stabbing, obviously Peyton was there screaming in agony and pain. And, she was like, I will never trust you again. Why are you doing this? I hate you. And you lied to me. You guys lied to me. And after this incident, right, after the 19 stabs, the two criminals walked away with bloodstains all over and informed Peyton that they would get help, knowing deep down that this was never going to happen. In addition to this, Anissa decided to tell Peyton, don't move, just rest. You won't lose blood that quickly. Okay? So they're very evil kids, and they had a plan and they wanted it to be committed, like they wanted it to be done. They had absolutely no mercy. So minutes later, Peyton gathered all of her strength and she made her way. She crawled to a comfortable spot in the woods. Meanwhile, a cyclist was making his way, just riding casually, right? And he noticed that Peyton was laying on the ground. Like, this little girl was laying on the ground and she was bleeding out. He asked, who did this to you? Why are you here? And she told him that it was Morgan that did it. Now, he immediately called the police officer or the ambulance, and they came for her and they rushed her to the hospital. Now, in the meantime, the two females were making their way to the mansion, okay? And 5 hours of intense searching happened, and they were later spotted on a highway together with their backpacks filled with clothes, snacks, and pictures of their family members. Okay, so they were really determined to leave. And they had also left notes for their parents at home stating that, they'll be okay and so on and so forth. So when they were spotted, they were immediately carried to the police station and were interrogated. And being that they're the kids that they are, they confessed every single thing. Like, they really thought they were innocent. They thought they were doing, they knew that they weren't doing something good, but they confessed everything. During the interrogation, Anissa and Morgan stated that if they didn't do it, they believed that Slenderman would come for them and kill them as well as their family. And that's what they were fearful about. They were also asked why they did it. And Morgan especially said the reason why she did it, or they did it, is because it was necessary and it had to be done. Okay, so they had absolutely no remorse, no regrets, and no mercy. They were malicious and completely evil, and they were extremely delusional. Yeah, it's pretty sad. So Morgan was sentenced 40 years, and Anissa was sentenced 25 years in a mental institution. We're just seen as unstable, mentally sick kids. On the other hand, Peyton is a survivor and she's living till this day. However, she does have that big baggage on her shoulder, which gives her anxiety whenever, she thinks about friendship and trust and relationships overall.
What did you think was going to happen after you stabbed Peyton?
I don't really know. I figured that I'd get in trouble eventually, though. Because, Mommy always says that whatever you do catches up to you eventually. And it did. How difficult it was not to tell anyone. We would all be together. It was a flawless plan, actually.
Stay tuned for next. Stay tuned for next video. You better like, subscribe, and comment. That's it. Comment on the video, because I'm very excited about what is to come. You should be too. Alright.